What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Terence Bud Crawford. And Terence Bud Crawford had this to say on the article, The Athletic. He said that people don't give me credit because I am so dominant. If anyone has the right to say, I told you so about the turn of mortality by the previous pound-for-pound king, Vasily Lomachenko, it's Terence Crawford. For years, the 33-year-old three-division champion Crawford, 36-0 with 27 knockouts, has engaged in animated conversations with writers, lobbying for his belief that he was a more complete fighter than his fellow three-division champ, Lomachenko. Now that Lomachenko has been defeated in Saturday's unanimous decision upset to unified lightweight champion Teofimo Lopez, suffering his first pro loss since a featherweight title shot against an oversized champion in his second pro bout, Crawford has vindicated. He said, yet Crawford's ability to retain his own grasp on pound-for-pound top spot has slipped away ever since Canelo claimed a fourth division title in November. Okay, so Terence Crawford was the guy that some people, and I know who he was referring to, a lot of people like from HBO and ESPN, a lot of people like to say that Terence Crawford was either number two. Some people said he was number one at times, but what Terence Crawford is saying, that he was the best because he did things that other fighters haven't done, even Floyd Mayweather. Okay, this guy went from 135, got every belt. Not a belt out there, the WBC still lurking out. No, he got every belt, then moved to 140. Wiped everybody out. Got all the belts. Unified, then became undisputed in both Ring Magazine's, in the Ring Magazine belt in both weight classes. Now he went on his first attempt to become a welterweight champion, coming from 135, mind you, where Lomachenko's at now, and gained that too. Is Terence Crawford a bigger guy? Sure, he's a bigger guy, but that has nothing to do with it when you have guys like Manny Pacquiao whacking guys that are a lot bigger than him. So that's really no excuse. Same thing from Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was a smaller guy too. Okay, so you can't really use that as an excuse at the end of the day. Okay, Terence Crawford was stating his claim that, hey, I'm the best, but what had to happen for people to see it? Lomachenko had to lose for people to understand, like, well, yo, Terence Crawford really is that good, because he hasn't taken a loss in any professional bout and has done far more in the divisions where he was champ than Lomachenko has. Okay, Lomachenko looked good with what he can do. Okay, the way his style of boxing, the rapid punches and everything on that level makes it look good. However, it's people that back him, that support him, that hype him up to be a certain way is the reason why he's regarded as certain high standards. Even Lomachenko himself has said Terence Crawford is the best fighter pound for pound right now. So you can't even really argue about that. But Terence was making the point is like, okay, well, Lomachenko's good, but he's not better than me. And a lot of people overlook me because I'm so dominant in fights that people look for fights. And here's the funny thing, the irony about Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford is the guy that he has that Roy Jones Jr. mentality. Get me the fight with him, I'll beat him. Get me the Errol Spence. Get me the Keith Thurman. Get me the Manny Pacquiao. He's been wanting these fights. It's these guys' handlers that don't want these fights, or the fighter themselves, mind you. They don't want to get in there with Terence Crawford because they know the danger and they know the skill set a switch hitter like Terence Crawford possesses. You think Al Heyman wants to put Errol Spence in there with him, really? He'd rather send him up there to Canelo in a totally different realm, on a totally different platform before he does that. Think about it. It's about the money. Then it won't look as bad if he does lose to Canelo because Canelo's bigger. Right? So they'll think, oh, well, he went up there. He was giving up the advantage anyway because Canelo was fighting at 175, so he probably came in at 172, 173. So he was fighting a light heavyweight so I can understand if he lost. No, he would lose because he got in there with a guy that has a style that's compatible to beat him, just like I feel Canelo would do. Anyhow, dealing with someone his own size, someone at his own weight class, a champion in his same weight class, do you think Al Heyman wants to take that chance against Terence Crawford? The only way he would do that if he sees Terence Crawford getting older. He'll do it in maybe 2 years. That's Al Heyman, the waiting game. But one thing right now, do we know to this day that Terence Crawford is best pound for pound? Okay, and he's proved it time and time again by taking out guys, by taking on the people that want to take on him. Not doing what Canelo's doing. By fighting a shot and drunk Kovalev. Okay? Not losing to the bigger but younger Teofimo Lopez like Lomachenko. Okay? So Terence Crawford is basically saying, hey, I told you guys that. No disrespect. He was just saying that he's the best and he doesn't get credit because he doesn't get in decisions like Lomachenko got in, which is rare, okay, but it happened nonetheless. And it has yet to happen to Terence Bud Crawford. So by that statement, Terence Bud Crawford has claimed supremacy in the pound for pound rankings. I still think he's number one. I've always thought he was number one. He's just done more. And he just needs to find another way to exploit it and get those fights that he needs to, really, he doesn't even need any legacy. He doesn't need any. He's best pound for pound. He's undefeated. He's a champion in 3 different weight classes. He had Ring Magazine in 2 weight classes and has been undisputed in 2. Really, he could retire right now a happy man and doesn't need anything. But it's justified on why he's best pound for pound, because he can shut guys out. If he doesn't shut you out or knock you out, he's going to outpoint you out. Counterpunch. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Terence Crawford saying people don't give him enough credit. Do you think he gets enough credit? Of course, leave a comment below. Please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.